Hey,
Elias,
Armani,
what's
Abe,
up?
how
I,
you
I I
doing?
I don't like this hoodie you got on, brother.
I'm sorry, but we're the best team right now. I can't complain.
Oh man, listen. The Knicks, we're coming for that spot, just so you know. So get ready for the playoffs.
Perfect.
Oh,
I want to thank you all three for joining me today on press day.
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Thanks for having us.
So we have perimeter premiering soon. I watched the first three episodes the other night, and I loved it. I like the storyline with these characters. I like the journey. I like the '90s. I'm a huge fan of the '90s and '80s. So this I enjoyed watching this. First question, Armani, this goes to you.
Yes, sir.
How did you decide '90s Atlanta? How did you approach that era?
You know, when I moved from New York to Atlanta and I started working with Tyler, working on his documentary, and the more research I did on Atlanta and like the 90s and these pockets of culture that were very largely untold in the television world, you know, I couldn't believe it with the Olympics coming in 1996 and the Black governance in terms of like historically, it's always been in Atlanta. And all these little things. I was like, wow, like I brought it to Tyler and we're like, hey, we can be the first to market with this. And he loved the idea. And obviously, like everything that the studio does for Atlanta, I feel like it was our chance to give back to a city that's given us so much. So, you know, to bring these stories to life with these amazing talents is something that we took full opportunity of. And I hope that everyone enjoys it.
Easy. Ava, this is for you. Paige Dunn, she has challenges and her journey throughout these series. Like, how did you approach to tackle this character?
Oh, so many things I went to approach. I pulled a lot from my own experience in college. I went through kind of a similar situation. I mean, most or women do when you go to college and you have a mom and you try to be an adult and you try to separate yourself, you try to have freedom. And I really went back on that. And in terms of it being in the 90s, I had aunts who actually went to Spelman during that time. And so they told me exactly what that experience was like being a Black woman in Atlanta with Freaknik, with the fashion and the music. And speaking of music, music was also a big thing for this role as well. I think that music is a great marker of time. And I listened to a lot of Outkast and TLC and Usher to prepare me for this because Paige, she loves music. So I went into that.
Amazing. Tatiana, Dawn, I don't even know how to jump into this character. I was trying to pay really close attention. Family ambitions, she tackles that also. Would you say she's a glue of the family also in a way?
Yeah, I think she's a glue. She's like the builder of her family, and especially having a husband like Donovan Christie's character, somebody who's so ambitious and but also has all these flaws, and I think she knows them all very well and loves him despite them, and might even want to protect him from himself. I think she's done that a lot in their life,
Mm,
and with her daughter, every mothers and daughters, I went through it with my mom as a teenager. You have that wisdom as a mom. You've been through it. I know who this boy is. I know exactly what's going to happen. I know, and I don't want her to have to go through it. At the end of the day, your kids live their own lives, and
mm,
I drew a lot from my experiences with my mom, with
mm,
scenes that Ava and I had together.
mm. Armani, you mentioned complex web of personal stories. How did you decide like how to go through these storylines in the series?
And no, honestly, I learned this from Tyler. When I'm writing the scripts, I let the characters kind of like tell me what's gonna come up next. I don't try to do complex for a complex sake. But yeah, it was, you know, when you step back and kind of look at everything, you could start putting things, you know, organize it a little bit more. But I think it's great, and I think like the central theme of the whole entire series is the decisions we make are what lead us into the lives that we have, as opposed to trying to blame other people for why your life is the way that it is. Like if you step back and you start realizing that like every decision, every choice that you make is very, very important, no matter how mundane you think it is. And that's what we're trying to do and try to build with these storylines and with these characters.
Ava, how would you describe now the chemistry between Paige and Dawn?
Oh, Paige and Don, my dad.
No, no,
Yeah.
sorry. I mean Connie. Sorry.
Oh, Paige and Connie. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
In terms of the on screen, it's tough because she's going through her own stuff with my father as well, and their marriage is going through a lot. And because I'm a sophomore in college, I spend a lot of time at school. I spend a lot of time with my friends outside of school. So our relationships are slowly kind of pulling apart, unfortunately, because I'm becoming into my own person. And in terms of working with Tatyana, it was amazing. I feel like we all just fell into the roles so naturally because we had a lot of rehearsal time with each other, and like we were able to learn about each other as humans, as actual actors besides the characters. It was so easy for her to feel like my mom and for Donovan to feel like my dad. And I love my TV parents.
Tatyana, Connie, what was your favorite thing about this character?
Oh, my favorite thing. Well, I loved her clothes. I loved her hair. I loved the style. I the jumpsuits and the what do they call it? Shoulder pads. I loved the style. It made me it helped me feel like I was a part of the time. Um, and I actually I said I like loved the conflict. I loved those juicy scenes, and Armani also planned so many kind of shots and camera work that was took a lot of choreography and a lot of practice and orientation, and that was so it was so fun and exciting to do that. But yeah, I love the conflict. One of my I love the conflict, the scenes with Ava. There was a scene that Donovan, Christy, and I did in our bedroom. That was one of my favorite scenes to do. It had so many like there's so much subtext and so many things being said that we didn't actually say in words. Um, yeah, I love her.
Amazing. So we have Perimeter February 29th and BET Plus. I want to thank you, everybody, give me a few minutes today.
Thanks. Thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate it.
Thank you.